sorry guys. Oh wait, we're supposed to work normal today? Oh, sorry guys. I forgot.
Hi, good day, Mr. Patena. So, thank you for volunteering for our interview for our N11 class. And our topic today would be all about the effects of your student workload into stress and other health aspects.
So I'm gonna start first. I'm Sarah Minet Sumawa, and my topic is all about physical health. You're a regular student, right?
Yes.
So you must be receiving many hours of schoolworks in a week.
Oh yes, of course, because with all my classes, especially calculus, you're given a lot of work in order to give you practice on all the things that you need to learn and remember for the test. So yes.
Since you're receiving many schoolworks, are you experiencing some diseases like backache, fever,
Well,
something like that?
I do feel some pains in my back and neck because of the being that I'm a pretty tall person, and the desks that they give here at school are pretty short. So whenever I have to do a work or a test, it really causes a lot of pain in me and strains because I'm not like every other student who's pretty smaller than I am. So I really need to bend over and have a lot of these pains, and with all of this stress, it really distracts you from what you really need to be doing.
So how about fatigue? Did you ever experience it?
Fatigue, not necessarily, because I'm a pretty energetic person, but I've met a lot of people who are really downright just drained in every aspect imaginable just because of their studies.
So since you're not experiencing fatigue, are your eating habits still normal or?
It depends on your definition of normal, because in relation to my schoolwork, I would usually eat like once or twice a day, depending on my schedule. And yeah, that's pretty much basic of me, because for most of my life, that's how I've been eating. So yeah, but now I've gained a lot of weight because I've been eating way more because I'm so stressed out at school that I just don't know anything else what to do.
So you're eating properly.
By definition, a bit excessive though.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm Queenie Ventura, and I'll be asking you all about your sleeping patterns and your sleeping habits. So how many units again are you taking up?
I'm taking up 11 units, while the majority of it is calculus, which is 5 units.
So does your number of units or your student workload affected your sleep?
I would say it does and it doesn't at times, because as we all know, and as students in Mapua, not every day a teacher gives homework. So there are some days where I can sleep peacefully, and some days I need to stress over doing a lot of work. So that's pretty much the basics of it.
So your time management really affects your sleep, right?
Yes, because for the most part, my classes, they would end somewhere in the afternoon, and then I would need to wait, or I would need to take a 2-hour or plus van ride all the way back to my house in Cavite. So it puts stress on you that you need to do your work, and you're wasting some time just getting home. So by the time you get home, you need to do your work, and by the time you finish your work, it's late already.
So what is the least number of hours you got sleep starting when you came here in Mapua?
I would say the least amount was a quick 2-hour power nap. Because it was finals week, and you really need to stress out about that. So yes.
So during that finals week time when you only got like 2 hours of sleep, how does it affect your mental and your academics on that?
Well, as you know, the brain doesn't have enough energy to function. It won't function properly. So during that test, I would say I struggled a lot because my brain was trying to recuperate all of its lost energy and trying to rest, because I didn't really give it that much rest, but I forgot a lot of what I was supposed to know.
So do you experience having like sleeping diseases like insomnia or something like that?
Not necessarily, because as I said, my work schedule is not necessarily the most defined thing. So I do get the required amount of sleep, or as defined as the required amount of sleep, normally, because all of the workload isn't as severe as I think it would be. But there are some times where I need to stress out about the amount of work, so I need to really do and perform as best as I can.
So thank you.
Hi, my name is Cedric and my topic is all about the students' time for themselves. So, how's your morning, sir?
My morning, as you can tell, I woke up pretty late. I got here late for your guys' interview, which I am sorry because I forgot to wear the formal and everything. So, just to put it, just to explain why, it's because the night before I was doing a lot of my calculus homework. So from all of that, I really forgot in the morning that I need to be dressing up for your guys' interview. So that's pretty much how my morning is at this current time and point.
So that really affects your time.
Oh yes, because yeah, it's because I did promise to be here on time, and I did promise that I was gonna wear formal, but hey, as you can tell, I forgot because I was more preoccupied on calculus.
That's okay, sir. But about your hobbies, do you still keep in touch with them?
Hobbies, I used to do biking, badminton, and swimming, but as you can tell, I gained a lot of weight, so my hobbies it's really dead now because of my studies.
Yes. So that really, your hobbies like really forgotten.
Yeah, it's because most of my time is devoted towards calculus and all my other classes, so I'm really stressed out about that.
So about your free time, do you still have free time?
Free time, mostly defined by me as free time is the time in between periods. Because on my MW, I usually have an hour or one free class period in between my classes, so that's only my free time. Because once I get home, or on my way to get home, it's a long journey there. And once I get home, I need to do my work. And by the time I finish my work, it's time to go to sleep early. So free time is only at school.
Thank you.
My name is Jason, and I'll be asking about the emotional and mental aspects of stress and sleep. So, with the amount of student workload that you have right now, do you see any effects of stress and workload on your emotional and mental needs?
Well, I would say yes and no to that question because there are some, there's some workloads that are easy for you to handle that it's not going to cause that much stress on you. But there are some assignments that are from certain classes and professors that, they don't really give that much instructions towards it and you don't really know what to do. So the stress really piles up on you on the being that you don't know what to do or how to do it or if the teacher would accept it. So you really need to be working a lot on how to sufficiently do your work in the manner that your teacher didn't necessarily specifically state.
So, with that stress that you get from school, does it change your health in the emotional aspect?
Yes it does because before I used to be a really easygoing, patient person, and now I'm a really short-tempered and kind of forgetful person because of all of my stress because I'm trying to do well in school and also fulfill my promises, but one of them needs to take a toll in order for something to be actually sufficient. So yes.
Do you yourself or anyone that you know of experience any mental or emotional diseases because of stress?
Well, yes, I do know some people that actually have to deal with anxiety, indecisiveness, and all of these other formidable kind of mental blocks that people may have. And as my father once told me before I came to this school, because he was a student here at Kapua, that people do face these kind of issues, and some actually contemplate the idea of suicide just because of the stress of the workload here.
So, do you believe that there is a relation between stress and mental health?
Oh, definitely, because especially at this school, you need to really work on how to be better, and if you can really succeed in every aspect that they want you to, even if they don't tell you specifically what they want out of you, you really need to supplement all of those ideas, which causes more stress on you. But as they say, it will pay off later on.
Do you have anything to add?
No, not really.
Thank you for answering those questions.
Mr. Patena said, I can conclude that stress is a toll of student workload in relation to his physical health really can affect his body, his eating habits, like something like that.
And he also said to me that his sleeping pattern really changed starting when he got here in Mapua, and less sleep the less sleep that he had, the less concentration he had in his academics. So
And at the same time, his time is very focused on study and like his hobbies, it was like a dead man now.
And he also mentioned that he himself and the people around him experience different forms of mental diseases because of the stress that they get from workload. So there really is a relationship between stress and mental health.
So we could therefore say that according to Mr. Patena, that the student workload really do affect his different aspects in health.